Hello, everybody. This is Alex Big Blue, and welcome to the first ever episode of Big Blue Rankings. Today, I will be ranking every movie in the Scream franchise from worst to best, in my humble opinion. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. Starting in at the number 4 ranking, and the movie that I think is the worst among all four of them Scream 3. And the reason, first and foremost, is I don't really like the whole plot points with them having those weird actors being characters from the first one. You know, they're filming a stab movie. I don't know. I just really don't like that whole thing. It just seems really cheesy and kind of too meta and weird for my taste. And the overall plot of that movie and the script itself is just by far the weakest of the four, in my opinion. As well as the fact that they did the rewriting and or retconning, or however you look at it, of Sydney's mom, the backstory with that. I didn't really like the twist where they changed that either. So that's another thing that I really didn't like. But as an overall movie, it's still a good and fun, scary movie, and I still like it, but it's just a lot less than all the other ones for those reasons, especially, in my opinion. However, on the plus side of it, it's still pretty good. I like the main cast from the original one that's still surviving, of course. Anybody that's from that is still really good in this. The actors overall, I feel like, did a good job as well. The killer or killers, I'm not going to spoil it in case you guys haven't saw it, but was okay, but the weakest of any of them as well. That's kind of still, even though it was decent enough, I still feel like it was the weakest of that. But I also think they had a really cool scene early on having to do with Sydney's mom. You know what scene I'm talking about if you saw it. That's genuinely creepy and actually pretty scary. It's actually pretty scary, I felt like, especially the first time you see it, because it's kind of jarring, like, what? But yeah, that was actually a pretty cool scene. And overall, like I said, still a fun movie, but definitely the least of the four. All right, next up, ranked third in the overall franchise, in my opinion, is Scream 2. So let me just say first off that I really like this movie a lot, so it's nothing against it. It's just, of the three that was left, it's my least favorite one, slightly under the next one. So I really like this movie a lot. It's still really good, a fun, solid, scary movie, and a great sequel, I even think. The opening scene is great. I really like that theater scene. I think the cast is still probably the second best, maybe, but certainly up there with any of them. And I really like a lot of the new characters. They're pretty good, and the script is pretty decent. The killers are kind of where the killers are not the best, in my opinion, though. I don't necessarily like that much. It's not bad, but it's subpar compared to the higher two on my list. So that's one of the kind of weaknesses, although I didn't mind them that much. And besides of that, the character death that happens, I feel like it's around the middle of it. But you guys will know who I'm talking about if you're a fan of the franchise. But that one's always really bothered me a lot. I feel like that's a big weakness and a big mistake that they did that. And I don't know. I just feel like that is the thing that sets it apart from the one that's the next spot on the list. So I have to say that was the big difference. I just really didn't like that, especially the early on in the franchise. I feel like you could have waited for anything like that. But yeah, either way, overall, I still really like the movie. I feel like it's very enjoyable. And like I said, just a really fun movie with good acting and good cast overall as well. And the movie I have ranked in second place is Scream 4. So I really like Scream 4 a whole lot. I find it to be surprisingly good considering how long it came after the other ones. I think the new cast, all the new people that's in the movie, were really good. The acting was great all the way around. And I certainly think a lot of the characters, and especially a few of the newer ones, is really good. Kirby, for example, played by Hayden Panettiere. Her character is really great. I like her a lot. I forget what the guy's names is off the top of my head, but the two movie like buff guys, they're both really interesting, and I like those characters as well. But overall, I really like the cast a lot. Like I said, the acting was good. But getting into specifics, I think the old members from the original movies that's still in this were still once again great. I really like the combination of both the new and young characters all together. I think this one gets it back to being more serious again after the third one as well. So I think it's a good tone to set back. It feels scarier again, I think, and certainly more serious. But at the same time, it still does a lot of the really good stuff that the first one done, in my opinion. It's very fun, very interesting, and the killers in this is really good. I really like that a lot. One of them in particular, you'll know which one I'm talking about if you've seen it. But I really enjoyed this one a lot. It's just really fun and the best sequel slightly over two, in my opinion. And in number one, Scream, the original, which probably surprises nobody. But I find it to be just an excellent film. The originator of meta references, I feel like, and stuff like that in a scary movie, at least to that extent. It's one of the most fun and entertaining scary movies ever. And it's personally my favorite. If I have to pick a favorite scary movie, it's number one. Certainly there with any of them, that's for sure. But I just think the characters in it is really what sets it apart from the other scary movies for the most part. They're just so great. And I think that they're very entertaining throughout. And the script is excellent. The killers are really good. Not spoiling who they are, of course. But really good acting by them before and after the reveal. And I just really enjoy this a lot. It's just a great scary movie with a lot of plot twists. And the whole whodunit aspect of it is what really makes Scream great. And I just think it's definitely number one, and I really like that one a whole lot. I'm Alex Big Blue. Thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of Big Blue Rankings. See you later.